Go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Bobbi Jo and the Sheena Show. How are you doing today, my girl?
I'm doing well actually. Yeah, I've had a few things going on, but and I'll explain that in a minute. But yes, now that I'm sitting here sharing stories and whatever and talking to Bobbi Jo, I feel good. I feel good.
Yeah. What are we
Today
going to
is
talk
all
about?
about today is all about judgment. What are you judging? Doesn't it say in the Bible, judge not lest ye be judged? Now, if we think of this in an energetic term, a scientific term, basically what you're giving out is that energy of judgment, but who's the one feeling that energy of judgment? It is
Ooh,
you. Wow.
yes.
So,
You said that so fast. Will you say it one more? You said it like you ran your sentences together. What was it, the verse you said?
judge not lest ye be judged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, in other words, when you judge somebody, you're the one feeling it. So
Yeah.
it's instant. It doesn't like people say, oh, it's karma, but it's instant. As soon as you judge, you're the one feeling because, well, you're when we feel love, we think of something that you love. Where do you feel it?
Huh.
We tend to feel it in our hearts. When you criticize somebody, where do you feel it? You tend to feel it in your stomach, don't you? When you're criticized and you're angry, sometimes even it's in your throat. You can be so angry at that criticism, but you're the one strangling yourself. Like, if we could only really, really see that. And so, some of the things that here's a phrase I said to Bobbi Jo, oh, I'm going to throw this one at you whenever it comes because I've just seen it on Instagram. And it says, all success is a pile of all the mistakes. Hang on, all success is a pile of the mistakes you've made and you're standing on it rather than lying under it. Let me read that
Yeah.
again. Let me say, all success is a pile of all the mistakes you've made and you're standing on it rather than lying underneath it. We're also scared of failure, but the only way to succeed is to fail.
Yeah.
Like, but we're taught in school, aren't we, Bobbi Jo, that, well, you got a C, you know, or you got 40%, that's not good enough. But then they're judging you as not, we take that on board ourselves that, oh, well, that means I'm not good enough because I only got 40%. Like, we've
Mm.
got to stop with this judgment.
Yeah. And you don't, and I know maybe people listening to this, because I always thought I wasn't a judgeful person until I really became a mindset coach and really scratched every thought that I had. And there's a lot of judgment. There's judgment of the way people look. If a fat lady has on a half shirt, you're like, girl, you need to cover that belly. Right. Like, and it's like, just send love. Who cares? She's happy. So it is funny, Sheena. You're right. You do feel it yourself. It has nothing to do with them. You're hurting yourself in a way. So we're talking about judgment, but I just want to say, there was this time that happened with my husband has an ex-wife, and she came to the house and wanted something. And when I said, you need to please move your car so I can get out, but you're blocking me, I need to get to work. Well, she turned around with her bleeper and went bleep, bleep, and locked her car. Well, I was like, oh my God, blah, blah. Like I came out with so much anger and some probably F words came out, someone like, don't control me like that. But there was so much anger that came out that I had a sore throat the next day. Like literally, I got strep throat as an adult in my 40s. And it was crazy to me. This is way before. I mean, I'm 54, so this is like 14 years ago. So that anger, that's the same thing with the judgment. I mean, when you judge, it's a vibration. And who are you to judge people? Write this down and really think about it. You do not know what anyone else is going through. I remember a friend of mine lost her husband and she was on her way. And it was like months later, she was on her way to the funeral, I mean, at the funeral. So she's on her way just to the gravesite, And so she went and stopped and got a cup of coffee. And the girl behind the, little poppy 17 or 19-year-old, oh, you're not happy today? You need a hug. Just kind of being judgeful and kind of being sarcastic to the girl, like saying you want a hug, but definitely like judging her for her, like, oh, you turn that frown upside down kind of thing. And she was like, after she said, I don't want your hug, I don't want this. I know what it was. She was judgeful, the girl. Bad story, I'm sorry. She was being judgeful. And then when she said, no, I'm actually on the way to go see my husband in his grave, and then she's like, oh, do you need a hug? And she's like, I don't need your hug. I just need you not to judge me because I'm not smiling right now today. So I I'm a little happy-go-lucky person, and sometimes I can be like that. Like, what's wrong with that person? What's wrong? Da, 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 da. So, we do that. Just catch yourself. That's all I want to say. Judgment. It's there. You don't think it's there, but we do it all the time.
And I mean, things are going to happen in life, and it's okay not to be okay. So, just to share a personal story with you, that my brother committed suicide last week, and so I was a bit like a rabbit in the headlights, to be honest, for a few days. And it just sort of comes up and it comes up and it comes up, and I'm just letting it come up and letting it go whenever it needs to go. I don't, make myself cry. I just go, well, when the body wants to cry, let it cry, and let it go. And that's the thing about just that judgment, that, when somebody's committed suicide, I imagine that he must have been judging himself in his own mind for something. I don't know what it was. It was out of the blue. His family didn't notice anything, and just that was it. So it's not even just the judgment of other people. We said that before, that when you judge others, you're actually judging yourself and you don't even realize it. So it's not for the stopping judging others. It's to stop judging others for yourself, and just forgive the thoughts. That I walk around with forgiveness. Like, I'm walking around going, I forgive you, I love you, thank you, I trust you, because I don't know what else that there is in this life except love and trust yourself, and a story. And so just my aim is to eradicate worry, doubt, and fear, because my mum and two brothers have now died, and I know that they just did nothing but worry, and they wouldn't admit guilt and shame, but I know that the guilt and shame that I have felt for loads of different things, that they must have been living with that as well. And so let's just look at people with love rather than looking at them with judgment. I mean, just try that. You
Yeah.
you will feel better. Like, you will feel better, and your family will feel better, and the person you're looking at will feel better. So let's all have a wee pact that's just spread love around the world. Like, better that than anything else, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, you bring tears to my eyes. You're right. I didn't think of it that way for Graham. That he just, yeah, he was feeling shame, those low vibrational vibrations, the shame, the guilt for whatever in his life that he had to do that, like the pain inside. I've had that pain inside, and sometimes I've physically brought it out on myself. It's not a correct thing to do. It's kind of a weird thing to do, but it's like I have had that pain inside, and it's like it hurts, and it's such a weird hurt because you can't. It's not like a hurt like as if I stub my toe and pinpoint it. It's just hurt and anger and their feelings, and that's the vibration you're in. That's what a feeling is. And yeah, so why not just spread kindness? Sometimes that's all people need. A random act of kindness. Don't we love that? And paying it forward, and all those cliches that are out there from movies or things that people have done or started, paying it forward in random acts of kindness. Like,
But
how
also,
would
Bobbi Jo, sorry,
you
to go back to your story, that random acts of kindness. So for the girl of your friend who refused to hug, it doesn't matter. That girl behind saw that she needed a hug for whatever reason, that she judged her to be sad, that to actually accept a hug, no matter how it's coming, sometimes we're just not open to receiving the hugs that are there to be given. So she blocked a hug.
yeah,
So there was the block of love right there, wanting to be given for whatever reason, was wanting to be given. She needed a hug. It was the wrong time for her. So she deflected it rather than
yeah,
just going, you know what, girl? You know what? Yes, I do. And perhaps she would even have cried, but she didn't want to cry. She didn't want to be vulnerable in that shop. I have learned to be vulnerable. If I need to freaking cry in a shop, then I'll freaking cry in a shop. Like, if I was to cry at a boardroom table, then I'll cry at a boardroom table. I will let a tear come up. I won't wallow in it. My God, no. For flip's sake, that I'm not doing a poor me story, but something needed to come up. And sometimes, like, I went into the bathroom to hide so I could have a few tears. And Wolfgang saw what I was doing and came right in after me. And I went, I just want to be on my own to cry. And he just went, no, you're not. And I had to allow him to hug me and to hold me so that I could. I have to learn to receive a hug when somebody wants to give it. No matter what reason, that girl saw your friend needed a hug. Let's not
no,
hugs, people. Let's bring it on. Hug a randomer. Just say,
you know,
and smile.
the funny thing about that though is the woman whose husband died was judging the girl for judging her. 'Cause she was like, "You're a sarcastic little girl. I don't need your hug out of sympathy because you don't even know what's going on. No, thank you." Like, I could see I'd probably do the same thing. I know I don't need it. All of a sudden now you just put your foot in your mouth and you wanna hug me. Like, it's almost like doesn't feel real and sarcastic, but it was herself that, like, pushed it away, was judging the judger. So we do that. It's so funny. I love that Wolfgang came in and hugged you because I'd be the same way. Like, no, get away. Like, I just want this. And I hate that. It's hard for me. Surrender is a big word. Maybe we should talk about that another day. Surrender.
Okay, we'll definitely do that one. Surrender, because it's not like you think it is. It's not like sitting back, but we'll talk about that, and because that's a huge other topic, like, to go on here. So, I mean, I've got nothing else to say except that it all comes down to love of self, the judgment. Yesterday we were talking about intention, and if we can just come from that place. So when it says, God first, what I realize is put the feelings of yourself first and feel good, then go out into the world. Don't expect the world to make you feel good. You do you first. You sort yourself out. You set your intention. You come from a happy place, or a calm place, or a peaceful place, or a blessed place, and then go out into the world and keep checking in, like every hour. Keep checking in, just even if it's only 1 minute. Keep checking in. How am I feeling? Love? Right, then go do something. I mean, that's what I'm really realizing, that put God first is feel that presence. What's the aura that you're giving out into the world? What are you walking into the world with? Because that's what you're going to get back.
And that's all we have. Think about your judgment. Send love instead. It's a better vibration. It's a higher vibration, and you'll feel better in the end.
Have a most blessed, 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 loving, beautiful, gorgeous day. Thank you, God, for all my blessings and all the blessings I'm receiving right now, because I'm breathing and I'm alive.
Exactly. Namaste. Have a great day, everyone.
Namaste.